Hi. Who's here? It says nobody so far, and I'm sure that's not the case. I said two, right? Yeah, two people are here. Hi. I don't know who you are, but you're here. So go ahead and tell me if you're here so I can say hi to you, please. Coffee. Hi, Nikita. How's it going? Nice for you to be here. Miss you. Miss all of you. Makes me sad. Ooh, somebody else. Ooh, more people. Hi, Casey. Hi, Kayla. Casey. Making sure I respond to everybody. Not much. What up, dog? Reed, Riley, Katie. Hi, Gabby. Hi, Nicole. Anybody else coming in? Ooh, more of you, more of you. Oh my goodness. Hi, Hannah. I'm ready to get my AP GoPo on too. We had a phenomenal session a couple of hours ago, so that makes me happy. Who's Decon Dank? What is that? Hi, Steven. Chase, 2 p.m. gang. That's right. Howdy, Andrew. More people, more people. Yay. Tell me hello once you are here. Kellen. Oh, that's sweet. Yeah, we had some fun. We had some fun, Casey. Faux show. You guys all have Federalist 70 nearby, right? Hi, Abby. Chris, I should have guessed. I should have guessed. Hi, Zach. Hello, Elaine. Emma, Caroline. Oh, I'm so happy to see everybody. This makes me so happy. Not being in school's hard, man. Where's MJ? Hi, Vishal. Hi, Sarah. I'm famous? I didn't know. Hi, Alexis. All right. Well, I mean, I guess we can go ahead and get this party started. It just makes sense to me. And since we've got a little bit of a smaller crew than we had at the first session, we should be able to all chat a little bit more. 100 subscribers. Whoop, whoop. Okay. I made your Alexa go off. Oh, sorry, Andrew. It'll be okay. All the technology is just going to be buzz, 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 buzzing around. Sarah, did I say hi to you? If I didn't, hi, honey. Hi, Allie. Hello, Melody. Ooh, speaking of a few of you, Melody, I know I read your letter recently. Imagine being awake before 11. Hi, Eleanor. MJ, welcome. I have read about 30 more letters, and so I'll just make a video where I give you guys my comments on those. And Willow and Wyatt and I walked up to the mailbox and we mailed them all yesterday individually. She wanted to mail each one individually, so it took a minute. Okay, well, let's get this Federalist 70 party started. I know that there's going to be a little bit of a delay here with me asking you some questions and you typing in responses, but that's okay. It'll all be fine. The person who's most affected by the awkward silence is me because I don't care for awkward silences. So I'll probably fill it, with nonsense. But that's okay. Alrighty. So everybody, this is 70. Okay. We have 9 required documents that we need to know for the AP exam. Don't ask me. I don't know what's happening with it. We're going to proceed like it's going to be on May the 4th, and it's going to be fabulous. And we're all going to get 5s. That's how I am processing everything at the moment. But anyway, so this is one of the documents that you will probably be asked questions regarding in the multiple choice section, as well as it could be fair game for FRQ number 4. Hi, Sophia. Alrighty, so let's dive in. Do you guys recall who wrote the Federalist Papers? Especially who wrote 10 and 51 that we covered already? Good job, Allie. I imagine some people are also going to respond with James Madison too. But yeah, James Madison is the one. Good job, Chris, Sam. Good job, Eleanor, Casey, Kayla, Riley, Anna. We could keep going. Yep, we're going to keep going. Elaine, Katie, Kellen, Gabby, Sophia. Yeah, James Madison wrote 10 and 51, as well as a bunch others. But Hamilton, the author of 70, John Jay, that's right, Casey. He wrote 5. But Hamilton wrote the vast majority of them, and he wrote 70. And Federalist, yes, he did write this one, Emma. Federalist 70 is, I mean, really, if you could sum it up in a few words, what would you title it? You are. Are you just saying that complimenting your peers read, or is that how you're titling Federalist 70? We're also original. It could work. We could make it work because he does give some historical examples and pulls from what they did wrong, uh, explaining how we're going to right those wrongs in our government. Okay, so Chris suggests strong executive branch important. That's nice. Is that a haiku by any chance? Kellen, the question was, what would you title Federalist 70 in a few words? Riley says, why the executive branch is important and why having a president is so vital. Yes, it is. Unity in the executive is good, Melody, okay. Allie, a smaller connected executive branch is stronger and better to lead the country. Good. Eleanor, don't worry. I got strong executive. I was with you. Elaine, Federalist number 70, energetic executive. That's a good one. Stephen Yang, focus power in the executive branch. Sure. Nicole, need for the executive and why we need only one president. Good. Chase, strong executive branch with only one person holding authority. Eleanor, strong executive branch is essential. Yes. Hannah, a strong executive and strong, forceful president. Yes. Gabby, why unity in the executive branch is such a crucial part of our government. Lovely. Mwah. All of you. Very good. Okay, so let's dive into this because in this Federalist paper, Hamilton tries to answer those critics who really liked the Articles of Confederation and how it was set up with no central executive. They were very concerned that the president that we created would become a king. And so he explains his reasoning for it just being one leader. Oh, Sarah, that's good. Strong executive leads to strong execution. I like that. So why one leader is beneficial, why a multitude of leaders is bad, like bad on so many levels, and why this is the best way to be. And he gives us historical examples of how they attempted to go about this, and it was an epic fail, like epic fail. Okay, so let's break it down box by box, page by page. So Hamilton says to the people of the state of New York, because remember, we needed New York to ratify the Constitution and they hadn't yet, and that's where most of the industry was, so big deal. Okay, how about my folks from first or second period? Why don't you respond to this one? Hamilton's critics would say that a powerful executive is inconsistent with and really dangerous to a representative government. So would first and second period students, would you guys give me 2 ways that an energetic executive promotes and protects a stable republic? 2 ways. 1 or 2, really. So his critics said that a vigorous executive is inconsistent with the genius of Republican government. And it was dangerous to him. Hamilton says, no, you're wrong. It promotes and protects a stable republic. Okay, so Lindsay, hi, honey. You say that it protects the community against foreign attacks and protects private property. Way to go for 2 there, girl. You're right. Hannah agrees, protects liberty against factions. Excellent use of one of my favorite F words there. Melody protects the community from foreign threats. Good job. Allie allows for positive changes in the people and the government. Let's see here. Sophia protects the community against foreign attacks. Yepers. Excellent. Anna provides unity and stability. Good. Stephen, it might be more efficient because there's less gridlock. Ooh, one of my favorite words. And tension in the executive branch. Yeah. Chris, one strong leader in the branch allows for quick response. Yes, it does. Nikita protects from factions and private property. Allie gives people a stronger sense of patriotism. Yes. Eleanor, protection of private property. Good. Chris, one strong leader in a branch allows for quick response. Very good. And Sophia, also against anarchy. Great. Oh my gosh. Excellent job. First and second period. Really solid. So one thing you guys mentioned, and if you don't have this written down, I would write it down. But what do I know, right? Is that having a powerful executive helps protect our republic from foreign attacks, for sure. If you have somebody that, if we have a president that a person might say, oh, you don't want to mess with them, that's good. That's good because that lets foreign countries know who our one person is, and they are powerful, and they are one person who makes really solid, strong decisions if they're confronted with some sort of threat. I mean, really, if I'm in a threatening situation, it's good that I don't have to stop and say, hang on, I just want to get a couple of ideas here with how I should handle this person who's trying to take my car. Excuse me, stranger over there, could you tell me how I should handle this? Oh, what about you, person over there? No, I need to handle it in the moment, just like the president needs to handle it. Another thing, I don't know if I saw this one yet. That's okay, Chris, don't worry about it. But steady administration of the laws. I know we all said quick response, which is great. I know we said less tension, but if there is one person who's administering the laws, that means that you are going to get consistent and uniform execution of the laws. You guys will get more consistent feedback of me grading your FRQs than you would if I had me and my husband grade your FRQs. Or, let's even throw in Willow in the mix. She can write her name. There you go. If you've got a lot of ideas coming out there of how people want to execute laws, it's going to be a problem. But if it's just one person, people know what to expect, everybody's given the same treatment, that's going to make the government work a lot more efficiently. And then finally, a lot of you guys said this, protecting liberty and property. Good. You're absolutely right. If you have that strong executive, that lets factions know that they're not going to get away with pulling crap. Okay, so that's really beneficial. Good. Section 1, check. Alrighty, the next part, Hamilton mentions Rome for the first time. And he mentions Rome for a pretty obvious reason. It was the world's first major republic. And he said that they had a feeble or a weak executive. So just go ahead and tell me maybe third and fourth periods. Actually, we can even throw in sixth because sixth period only has 13 people. What is the consequence of having a feeble or weak executive? What happened to Rome? Coffee break. Not Rome, Georgia. Let's be clear. It's still there. It's a cute little downtown. Riley, the republic will collapse with a weak executive. Yes, and Kellen, with the chance of tyranny, having a strong executive would be more helpful. Kayla, Rome collapsed because they didn't enforce anything. Good. Emma, weak execution of government can cause fail. Absolutely fall. Excuse me. K impact. That's kind of fun. Oh, hi, Isa. The consequence is utter collapse. You're absolutely right. Yes, Clarissa, Rome did fall. Hey, Alex. Yes, due to the infighting. Good point to remind us of that. Alexis says it sets up a republic to fail. That's right. Katie, it makes them seem open to attack because a weak executive does imply a weak government. Yes, it does. If you have an executive that continues to give, and fall to pressure, well, guess what? You can do whatever you want to do. Their retirement was garbage, says Clarissa. Ryan, Rome was too big and hard for the executive to regulate everything. Yeah, they ended up splitting it, right? Nicole, the empire first fell Internally, as it was split into two. Excellent. It was then attacked from invaders. Weak executive leads to destruction. Very, very nice third, fourth periods. Yes. So if you have a weak executive, that's essentially going to lead to weak execution of laws, which then creates bad government and government that people don't trust, government that no longer is legitimate, and so the government is going to be reared dysfunctional because there's no strong administrator that can actually command respect and obedience of the people in terms of administering law. If they don't administer the law, the people are going to do whatever the heck they want. If all of a sudden, this is a rather dark example, so I'm going to go in a different direction. Let's just say that people just started doing cocaine. Okay, just on the sides of the road, just snort, 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 and they're doing all sorts of cocaine, and no police officers do anything. That lets people know they can just do cocaine. Please, nobody edit this video to just get that sound bite. That's not good. But you know what I'm saying? If you have a weak executive, then people are going to be able to do whatever the heck they want. They're going to lose all trust in government, and it is going to collapse, just like Rome did. And yes, Vishal, Rome fell and Caesar became a dictator. There was no one to stop him. True. Yeah, that's a problem. And Chris is way ahead of me. Not Chris, Isa. Okay. Can you think of some examples in our history where people challenged the government and the government was either able to answer or not able to answer? Yes, Reed, you do need a strong executive as well as a strong legislative branch to keep the executive in check. You're right. And we're actually going to talk about the legislative branch in just a little bit. Yay! Oh, good job. You guys are coming up with good examples. Yay! Yes, 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 yes. All of these are great, guys. I mean, if there's the term rebellion or revolution, essentially, then you've got it right. Nice. Yes, Issa, the Whiskey Rebellion did the opposite. Okay, so sure, sure. You could talk about the 19th Amendment. Sure, Nikita. I was going for US history, but yeah, that works too. So with Shays Rebellion, the Articles of Confederation, what kind of executive did it have, y'all? What executive was there in the Articles of Confederation government? Was it muy fuerte? Yes, Casey, none. There was none, no executive. So that the central government that we had was very weak. And when the people challenged it, when Massachusetts farmers challenged the state government, they couldn't answer. They couldn't form an army. You're all right. It was weak. There was no one leader. Oh, I'm so proud of everybody. Good job. You are totally, totally right. And so there was no respect commanded. The people were not obedient. And that let folks know that, you know what, it's time to have a stronger central government. And then when that new government was challenged, I'm looking to Nicole's wording here. Yeah, when the Whiskey Rebellion occurred, and like Issa mentioned, the federal government actually answered. And yes, Nicole, Washington did come and put his foot down, even though that foot was quite comfortable for most of the journey in a coach. But then he did get on a horse for a little bit. The government proved that they were strong, and it suppressed the rebellion, and the people realized, wow, that is a strong executive. They're executing the law, and we as the people, we're going to be obedient. Good. Okay. Yes, Chris, weak does mean not strong. And yes, Reed, not strong does mean weak. Let's go to the next page. Ooh, and the 4 key ingredients, according to Hamilton, for an energetic executive. So let's go back to first and second periods, if we can, just to kind of get more people to participate, even though I don't think that's going to be an issue. Oh, and last semester students, you throw your hats into the ring here too. What are those key ingredients, according to Hamilton, of an energetic executive? Because honest to goodness, if you remember anything about Federalist 70, I would remember it as the energetic executive. Hamilton gave us four ingredients. And after you mention those, what I want you to do then is elaborate on one of them. And why don't we start first with unity and duration, what Hamilton meant by unity and duration. Good. Sophia said unity. Eleanor mentioned all four. Nice. Oh, yes, robust. We'll talk about the robust or energetic executive. Okay, good. Good. A lot of us are saying unity and duration. So unity. What should the executive look like? What does that mean, unity? Should it be a bunch of people that are unified behind a common cause or a common party? Thank you, Melody. You are correct. Unity is a single person who is responsible. That's what I mean. And yeah, Allie, I see that duration to last through the difficult times. They do need to be, like Alex said, robust, or like Gabby said, having vigor. To last through the difficult times. So I think we're talking about how long they're in office for, right? Why is it good for them to be in office a little bit? How does being there for the duration help them? Chris says duration is required because without it, the president doesn't have necessary time allotted to make a significant impact. That's right. That's right. So they're unable to make a significant impact because they haven't been there for a while. What does having the ability to be there for a while do for the executive? How does that help them with their job? And while you guys are typing, Nikita, you're right. If you have one person who's making the decisions, that one person can then unite the people. And yes, Natalia actually gets stuff done. Yeah, Eleanor, it does increase their influence and their power since they're around for longer, simply in terms of building relationships and things like that. Reed, the president does need enough experience to be effective and efficient. Yeah. Issa, it does provide overall stability. That's true. Somebody earlier mentioned FDR, and I mean, talk about duration. That was before this 22nd Amendment. Hopefully, you guys have done your research on that already. Let's see here. Sophia, it does help them gain that experience they need. Ooh, to make the hard decisions. That's right, because maybe in their first 100 days, they would know how to handle something. But after they've been there for a year or two or three or four or five, they have more experience and they feel more comfortable in making those decisions. It does provide a sense of stability. That's a good way to word that, Alexis, and trust. Yes. Ooh, Nikita, they do need time to adapt. You're absolutely right, and learn what the people need. There's no sound. Can you hear me? Sam says there's no sound. Hello? Oh no. Hang on. Okay. There is sound. Yeah. All right. So who couldn't hear? Sam, Aiden. Ugh. Emails, county emails, guys. I'm telling you, I'm getting like 9 a day. More than that. Okay. All right. So let's hope that the sound works out for my pumpkins. And I'm sorry if it's freezing every now and then. Maybe it's just me. I'm just kidding. That was a joke. Okay, good. So refresh if it cuts out. Alrighty, so duration. If you get experience, that can translate to respect and leverage to get things done. Also, I want you to think of the trustee role for senators. When they're in there for longer, they can actually make some of those tough calls and do things where they're not just bending to the will of the people. For example, I want you guys to think of what President Trump has done and said recently. What's the size gathering we're supposed to have now? No more than? Is it 50? 15? 10. 10. 10. I mean, y'all, I'll go outside because I have to go outside because I have 2 children and I have to get out of the house. Yes, you're all right. Yeah, 10, 10, 10 people. Oh my goodness. I have to get out and there's more than 10 people outside. And if they're standing around in the driveway, there's more than 10. And then the kids are, talking to each other. Who's Philip Rivers? CDC may say 50, but President Trump said 10. Do you guys think that was popular when he said 10 people in an area at one time? It wasn't. Sophia, no. I mean, what are they going to do? The crowd police? No. I mean, you're not going to be able to get in trouble. Um, Free agent, absolutely not. Yeah, no. I mean, you all have free will. And we are a country that wants to allow you to have the most possible freedom that you can up until the moment that your freedom infringes with somebody else. So if you have tested positive, then you should not go out. But in terms of police officers coming and showing up and restraining you, I believe I've read about that happening one time in the United States. Yes, Chris, I think the Duggars have a tough choice ahead of them. Oh, a free agent quarterback. Okay. Gotcha. Thanks, guys. Alrighty. But if the president is taking bold stances, they're doing so for the good of the people. And you need to be an energetic executive in order to do that. Because the people are going to need to respect his ability to competently guide or oversee public policies. And in doing so, he gains even more experience. Yes, they do have curfews. You're right. You're right. Okay, what are the other two ingredients for an energetic executive? And it's not just a lot of coffee. Competent powers. That's right, Katie. That's one. And the other? Support. That's right, Clarissa. Adequate provision. That's nice. That's nice. Thank you, Melody. So I want you guys to think about what that means. If you just Okay, so executive orders, that's a good example of looking under competent powers. Even that, no, that's not an expressed power. That is something that they can do and that they need to be able to do for their job. All of you guys are right. Oh, Aiden, I'm sorry. Somebody call Aiden and help him. I wish I could help, buddy. Sorry. Um, so what are some other competent powers that you think, Reed, what are some other competent powers that you think the president has that they should have to make the executive an energetic executive? Maybe even to check the other branches. Good. He said the veto power. That's a great example. That's a competent power. If the legislative branch is doing something that's bad, the president has the ability to say no, no, they're not going to do it. Let's see here. Thank you, Sam. So the veto is a good one. Executive order is a good one. All of you guys, you got it. Yes, declaring a national emergency, which essentially just frees up funds. Martial law, those are good. The pardoning power. What about in terms of war making powers? What role does the president have there? Thank you for trying, Stephen. I'm sorry, Aiden didn't answer your call. Yes, Stephen, you're right. Oh, and unilateral action, Isa. Yes, I mean executive orders, executive agreements, signing statements. You betcha. Yes, good example, Chris. Going back to the War Powers Act. Kellen, you're right. Executive orders, commander in chief. He can negotiate treaties, Reed. That's right. But Senate has to confirm them. Yes, Allie, negotiating those treaties. Yep. Caught yourself there, Reed. Excellent. Okay, good. So you guys got all of that. Yes, Sophia, good distinction. Treaties, but Congress is the one who declares war. What about adequate provisions for support? What did Hamilton mean by that? What must we do to ensure that the executive is able to stay energetic? What are adequate provisions for support? It's what makes the world go round. They're all going to pop up at the same time, aren't they? Yeah. Yes. Money. And money, of course, contributes to a good economy, Clarissa. Yeah. So guys, yay, money, you're right, funds. Now, don't forget who has the power of the purse. Is it the president? That's in one way that he's limited in his unilateral executive action, isn't it? Congress does. Good job. So you guys hopefully by this point have watched the PowerPoint that I posted. Money, oh, love does make the world go round. That's sweet. It's sanitizer and toilet paper. Nice, Andrew. Um, you guys know how much the president makes now, and it's a 100% raise since 2001. And President Trump isn't even taking it. For most presidents, it's a pay cut. So, do you guys recall how much that is? I'll wait for you to pop up. Hi, Tate. Long time no talk, buddy. But when we pay the president, we're giving the president resources to sustain them so that they can carry out their responsibilities. And I know it seems kind of duh that that's the case. Yes, Reed, $400,000. But we have to ensure that they do have that power and that Congress cannot diminish it. Why do you think we had to write that in the Constitution that Congress cannot diminish the president's pay while they're in office? You can come down, honey. Little one coming. Kayla. I'm glad we're selling toilet paper. That's nice. I would give you some. I can give you some. Don't worry, I didn't stock up. I'm not one of those. Not that there. If you're one of those, I'm not calling you out. Oops. The earth is a donut. Okay. Well, back to what I was saying about why Congress can't diminish their pay is what if, I mean, imagine a divided government scenario. What if Congress wanted to lower the president's pay to $1? They might be trying to get them out of office. You see what I'm saying? Willow, you can come say hi for just a second, honey. All right. So good job there. Yes, you're right, Guillaume. Yes, you're right, Riley. Good job. Good job. All right. So let's go to the next box and let's talk about. Uh-oh. Yes. It's Batman. What, honey? I think Wyatt has it upstairs. Come say hi. We just woke up from a nap. So it's just kind of, I don't know. All right, bye. See ya. You can go. That's fine. Willow, all of my students say hi. Okay, she's gone. I'm sure she'll come back. I'll tell her hi, everybody. You're precious. I wish she had a good nap. That'd be nice. Alrighty, next up, we're looking at how Hamilton focused on smart people. I love this, the smart people. I'll tell Willa to put on her mask, Reed. Don't worry. We don't want her identity getting out. How smart people want one person, the executive, and many people in the legislature. So let's talk about that. So how about third, fourth, and sixth periods? Why don't you weigh in here? So Hamilton believed, oh, is this one filled in for you? I think it is. Hamilton, oh no, it's not. Hamilton believed that political leaders have properly struck the right balance between responsibilities and powers, according to the executive and legislative branch. I even wrote on my paper, the right stuff. So why is unity a necessary ingredient for an energetic executive? We've touched on this already, but let's elaborate just a wee bit. Why is it important that the executive be one person? Okay, so it helps the government work for the people, Clarissa says. It does help prevent gridlock. That's right, Kayla. Yes, honey. I can't find my blue baby doll. I don't see it anywhere. I'm sure it's upstairs, sweetie. Hey, my student said to put on your mask. I don't see it. Gabby, you're allowed to talk. Okay, so Issa says it's necessary as it enables the executive to enforce a specific policy without disruption. Yes, it does. Gabby says more than one person leads to more room for less compromise. That's a good way to word that. Riley, unity fosters constructive conversation by working towards a common goal. And yes, and you know what's really especially interesting about unity and compromise? It happens almost instantaneously. I'll give you an example in a second. It acts as a centripetal force, making the country stronger, sure. It makes it easier to carry out a demand. Yes, it does. Watch. I am thirsty. I want a sip of coffee. Come over here, honey. See, I didn't have to ask anybody else about that. I just did it myself. I didn't have to get anybody else's opinions. I didn't have to go to the group. Should I have this cup of coffee? Is it too late? Is it going to keep me up? Okay, you want to come and sit down? Here, you can come and sit by me. Let's see here. What else? Quarantining in the back, hey, Brian. Let's see. Yeah, so when Elaine says it's easier to carry out a demand, yes, it is, because you don't have to worry about other people saying no or do it this way or do it that way, because you get to make up your mind yourself. Guillaume, there's less conflict to carry out the powers. Yeah, it is, because it's just you. You get to make the plan if you're the executive. Nicole, it helps the president to be able to act on behalf of the people without having conflict with others. And compromise does take time. Oh my gosh, it takes time. We know this. Look at the legislative process. It's necessary in emergencies. Good example, like right now. You want to have one voice coming out of the government of this is how we're going to handle things, right? But an excellent example of federalism is the fact that we have 50 states that are doing their own thing. Let's see. That's why we should have a total dictatorship, says Issa. Don't worry, Reed. She has muscles in the thing. Yes, honey. I think we can. I'm done. Hey, we're out of grape juice. I drink grape. She drank some grape juice, everybody. Look out. Look out. Okay. So like you said, for decisions, for activity, for secrecy, and for dispatch, so carrying out a demand, dealing with something quickly and efficiently, that's much easier to do with one person rather than a group. For example, if I were to tell you guys a secret, you're going to have a much more difficult time keeping that secret than I am keeping a secret. I know a secret. I know a lot of secrets and I'm going to keep them. But if I tell them to you, I imagine they're just, going to be out there. You want some grape juice, Issa? I can't help you, sweetie. It's a necessary component of the quarantine. Willow, they all want grape juice. I do have a dog. Okay, I'll work on a secret later, Issa, don't worry. Alrighty, so hopefully you guys are picking up on the theme that it's much easier for one person to do the job than many. Okay, so that was what, third, fourth, and sixth periods? He is a good doggy. She. Let's talk about destroying unity, okay? The question is, what are two ways that unity in the executive can be destroyed? And I think you could go back to the Roman example for this one. So what do you guys think? How can we destroy the executive by destroying unity? Are you guys going for a walk? Ooh, factions. Yes, factions. A coup. Too many people involved. Factions. You're all right. And I love it when we use my favorite F word. Thank you. Vesting power in two or more individuals. You're right, Riley. So if you have two or more executives with equal authority, it's not a good idea. According to Hamilton, not a good idea. You're right, Chris. There would be infighting. And Caroline, yeah, there's too much power with multiple bodies. So that's just a problem. And Abby, yeah, giving two people the same amount of power does cause conflict. It does. Also, guys, I want you to think about Nicole, you just hit the nail on the head. By giving it to someone who can be controlled by others. Good. Can you guys think of any examples where the executive is essentially controlled by others?
I'm going to bring Woody, baby Woody, on a walk and Buzz.
Okay.
And I'll bring my daddy Woody.
Okay.
And this is his baby. I'll give it to Wyatt.
Okay.
This is my drink. It has strawberry in it. I like it.
So can we think of any examples where the executive doesn't really have all the power if Joe Biden gets elected? Mexico? Maybe. I'm thinking where the executive is more of a figurehead. Yes. The King and Queen of England. Well, now the Queen. The Queen of England cannot just make these broad, sweeping decisions. They are, for all intents and purposes, a figurehead. So that's one way to kill the executive and to kill unity. If you keep that one person with a lot of power, but you force them to check in with other people when they want to do something. Oh yeah, like if the military is in charge. That's a good one too, Issa. Okay, so going back to this idea of having two or more people with executive power, hope I don't stir up a storm here. Are any of you guys co-presidents of an organization? Bye, baby. Anybody a co-president out there? This got a little heated last year or semester, whatever. Anyone a co-president? Stephen is? Okay. Anybody else? Or is anybody a member of a group that has more than one president? Riley? Issa? Emma? Okay. So just out of curiosity, did you ever run into any power struggles? Yes, Riley, you're right. It is good if you get along. It can be wild. Yes. Ever have any power struggles? Ever disagree over something? Yeah. Ever try to run a meeting at the same time? Chances are you're going to talk over each other. Chances are there can be an uprising. Yeah. I mean, it's a cluster. You know what? It's just bad. Don't write what you know what it is in the comments, please. Don't get me fired. So Hamilton references the examples of the Roman Republic where two consuls were given shared authority. And this often resulted in civil war or infighting. And so to avoid that, the consuls divided up the Roman Republic. And I mean, that's just, pointless. Then you've got two countries. So it's a pain. I'm glad you guys are recognizing why this is a problem. Thank you, Isa. Thank you, Kayla. Okay, let's go to page 4. Ooh, let's talk plurality. So we've already touched on this about the dangers of having multiple people in the executive. And maybe I feel like if people drop their egos and realize they can be wrong, it wouldn't be that hard. Read, we're going to address that exactly in about 5 minutes. So 5 minutes, we're going to come back to it. All right, so Hamilton talks about the infighting. He mentions it's a big issue, okay? What are the multiple dangers of having a plural executive with equal powers? Why is it bad? I know some of you guys said that there's fighting. I know some of you guys said that there's, violence, but really, what does it slow down? What does it get in the way of? Where's the real problem besides pure and simple rivalry and resentment? Yes, Sophia, it slows things down. It does. Yes, there's less respect, Clarissa, and the authority is seen as weaker. Yeah, Allie, different beliefs can lead to creation or the creation of factions. Yes, Riley, less effective progress, and Clarissa and Casey, it's slower. Guillaume, you're right. They might cancel each other out. Sure, somebody can do one thing, somebody can do the exact opposite, and then wah, nothing happened. Yeah, Eleanor. So what do they actually get done? Yes, Casey, there's divisions, there's factions, and the decision making process is slowed down. So another thing, y'all, and or just pure and simple stops, gridlock. You're right, Reed. It makes it difficult to stay focused on your job, and it's less effective execution of your job. And you're right, Emma. You can cause people to choose sides, and that's going to be a problem. It can divide the community into violent and irreconcilable factions where people take sides with their leaders. And yes, Reed, it can cause civil war. We've seen it. We have seen it. So it makes it more difficult to stay focused on your job. Maybe you're pulled away from what you should be doing. And so if there is an actual emergency that needs to be responded to and you're too busy elsewhere, you can't really focus. Good. All right, the next little box I filled in for you, and Reed, this kind of goes back to what you were saying earlier about people getting over their egos. Hamilton is talking about the nature of the beast, essentially, what we end up doing. He suggests that if 2 or more people are given equal power to make decisions, thank you, Isa, and they disagree on the course of action, instead of coming to a compromise, instead of trying to seek some middle ground, these people with the equal sense of power will not yield. They will not give up their position. They will stand hard and stand firm rather than doing what's best for the people. And Hamilton sees this as a real problem. I mean, can't you guys just see that happening? What would you call that? How would you describe that action? Yes, that's a good one, Sophia. That's a good one. Executive derailment? Sure. That could work. It's fancy. Not willing to budge. Not willing to give. Not willing to see past your own ideas. That means they're given equal power, but they don't have equal sense. Bernie and Trump for consuls. I was going for stubborn. That's kind of what I was thinking. Yes, Allie, a cluster, you know what? Mhm. But that's the danger that Hamilton sees, and he sees it as real life danger. Yes, Casey. And Ryan says all of Congress all the time. I really wish I could just kind of like snip this and send it in to Nancy Pelosi and Mitch McConnell and Chuck Schumer and Kevin McCarthy. We'll see what they say. A stalemate. That's a good way to look at it, Eleanor. Nobody's going anywhere. Not willing to compromise, Elaine. How do some republics get around this issue? How do they have a president and a premier? Well, what do you think? Well, I'm not going to read that out loud, Reed. I mean, I don't see it happening. Yeah, one probably does have way less power. Have you guys ever heard about people who wanted to have a monarch of the United States of America? Has anybody heard of that? The idea is for the presidents to still exist, but then for there to be a monarch who does all of like the photo ops and happy-go-lucky stories. That way the president can really focus on doing their job the way that they're supposed to do. So that would be kind of interesting. Be paying one more person a lot of money. So I don't see it happening, guys, especially right now. Let's turn the page. Okay. Ooh, I like this one. Yes, a figurehead, essentially, Elaine. And that's what brings us back to that. Monarchy is utterly useless. One ends up taking the other's power. How would you decide that, though? Yeah, I mean, I don't even know if there would be an election or if the president would just appoint a monarch. And in a sense, couldn't that be considered the first spouse or the FLOTUS? The only reason we were calling it first spouse is in case a woman won or Pete Buttigieg won. King Kanye. All right, let's look at the next one because I really like where this is headed. So Hamilton in this next blurb outlines what he considers to be a weightier danger by having a plural executive. What in your mind is the danger that he's describing here? He says one of the weightiest objections to a plurality is that it tends to conceal faults and destroy responsibility. So what's the danger there? Concealing faults and destroying responsibility. What does that mean? More potential corruption, Clarissa says. ESET makes the members of the government less accountable. Give nobody's accountable. Gabrielle Gridlock, yeah, everybody's blaming one another. Nothing gets done. Less trust in the government. Gabby, when there is one president, it's easier to assign blame. Yes. Emma, yes, good example. Like Vietnam is trust of the government. Read, people are not held accountable for their actions. Riley, if the decision is only coming from one collective party, there's no accountability because people hide behind the name of Congress, for example. That's right. So remember the political cartoon by Thomas Nast of Tammany Hall, where they're all standing around pointing the finger at each other when they're asked who's to blame? Nicole says you can't determine if one of the president is acting above the law, which allows for corruption to occur. That's right. So guys, one of the biggest problems with this plurality is the idea that if there's different executives, Isa, I don't know, it'll probably be done in like 10 minutes. If there is more than one executive, they're able to avoid responsibility if something that goes wrong. Oh, I wasn't in charge. That was their job. That wasn't my job. The thing that worked, that's what I was in charge of. And that's the problem. It's easier to shift blame to other leaders and more difficult for the public to know where the fault in bad decisions lie. Sure, Kayla, you could look at it that way. This is also true if a scandal arises within the executive branch, because again, who is the public going to blame? And if a president relied on his counsel, they could just blame the counsel. This reminds me of the address on Friday. Oh, I see. Where blame was assigned to others. Sure. The people are left out and nobody knows who's at fault. That's right, Sophia. And Melody. That brings us to our next page. Flip the page. How do we hold them accountable if we don't know who to blame? Because what Melody just said, it lessens our power of political opinion. How so? Oh, Chris, when you said let's go, Melody, it reminds me of when you guys would fist bump each other in class for saying something smart. Just focus on my memories right now. Oh. How does public opinion let us check the power of the executive? That's what I'm asking you. Yeah? We don't have a target for our collective outrage, Issa says. You could certainly argue that, especially when it's time to go to the polls. They lose their efficacy. Yes, Sophia, that happens. They do. Yes, Clarissa. And I mean, that's just such a sad thing when people don't have anybody to blame and they feel as though public opinion no longer has the weight that it once carried. They can't express their power. So it's bad. And people feel as though they can't make a difference. Ugh. So how do you show public opinion if you don't know who to blame? The executive is elected by the people. So if there's distrust, they won't get elected. Well, that's true if there's a plural executive. But again, if they're up for election separately, how would you know which one to not vote for? Or would you just assume that it's both of them that should be blamed? It does lead to an apathetic mood that harms elections, especially through low voter turnout, right? Yeah. Oh, I think we're wrapping up, guys. So go down to the bottom here. Hamilton talks about Great Britain because, he really didn't hate everything about the way that Great Britain did things, guys. I mean, he wanted a really strong national government. But in this last part, why are we commenting? Yes, it does, Christopher. Your comment matters. He talks about the ultimate difference between the monarchy and the American model of the republic in terms of accountability. Why is the head of the American public accountable to the people and the King of Britain not accountable to the people? Why do you think the president cares and the king does not? Why does public opinion matter for the president? You're right. The government is supposed to represent the people, Clarissa. You're right. And yes, Issa, Nikita, Guillaume, Chris, Issa, the president is elected. Hannah, the king is not. Good job. The king's there forever, right? Divine right. You're all right. Good. Yay. Round of applause, everyone. Round of applause. Good job. Okay. So last but not least, Hamilton kind of wraps this up. If you look at the last page, please. Oh, Issa, you've got the divine right, huh? Okay, run for office, buddy. At the end, he wraps this up saying, if you had a council of executives, My battery's running low. Hang on. We're going for a walk, people. If you have a council of executives, it would be even more dangerous because it would appear like power is being shared. Okay? But, sorry. Okay. But if they act together, or if a clever leader manipulated the others, then they're abusing their power just as easy as if it were one person abusing their power. So that's ridiculous. And if there's only one leader, you know who to blame and keep an eye on, and you can remove them if necessary. Somebody brought up impeachment earlier. Good. So also, if you had a council, Hamilton reminds us that's not the best thing, because rather than a check on the executive, they could also block good stuff or support him in bad deeds. So, I mean, really, you met little Sebastian. I've met little Sebastian as well. It wasn't little Sebastian. It was just a miniature horse. House tour maybe next time, guys. We'll see. It's not very clean right now. Okay, so a car reveal. Let's wrap this up. As much as I would love to stay all day, I really would, because I miss y'all. What's the main? All right, we'll have a Parks and Rec sing along in just a second, okay? Promise. What's the main point? I am literally so excited about this podcast. What's the main point of this paper, this Federalist paper? It's 2013, but yeah. What's the main point, guys? If you had to remember Federalist 70 in one phrase, one sentence, what would it be? Energetic executive. I like that one. Unity is good. I like that one. Executive important. Okay. Strong executive, strong government. Yes. Promote the strong executive. One energetic executive is needed to carry out the functions of the state. Energetic executive, strong executive branch. What Hamilton thinks the executive should be: a strong executive is necessary in order for the republic to survive and thrive. A strong executive is a crucial part of the government. Unity leads to an energetic executive and strong government. Plural executive is bad. Energetic and unified executive means a strong government can last a while. Importance of a strong executive. Strong executive is beneficial. Strong executive for a strong government. This sounds like a bumper sticker. I like it. A strong executive branch is necessary in government. All I'm seeing, give Trump more power. Okay. You're all right. Those were good. All right. I think we can call this a wrap on Federalist 70. That makes me feel good about this discussion. Rome bad. Hopefully you got some things that you can include in here. Why strong executive breeds success. Listen, Friday, we're going to do the same thing. I don't know about the times. I have to see what works for my husband and my kids, because, doing this with the kids is not ideal. But you guys were sweet about Willow interrupting. I don't have a favorite YouTuber, sweetie. I don't YouTube. But thank you for coming. I appreciate it. On Friday, I did not have Jets for lunch. Who just liked the video? I don't care. Really. We're gonna talk about the executive branch as a whole, okay? And we're also going to talk about anything you want to talk about that's been going on lately. The primaries, the fact that our primaries got pushed back. I'm so sad. Favorite rapper? Let me think. Go ahead and I don't have SoundCloud. Go ahead and get an absentee ballot. Seriously, go ahead and register for that, because who knows where we're going to be. Okay. I don't have a favorite rapper, Reed, but I really like Disturbed. Is that good? It's not rap music. It's different. And I really like Wolf Mother. They're good. And Jimmy Eat World. I like them. Okay. All 32 of you who are still here, thanks for coming. It won't be the last time you see me. And ring the bell to join the notification squad. If you aren't of age to vote, don't worry, sweetie. You will be soon. Okay? Up. The squad's home. Willow, do you want to come say bye? Bye, Hannah. You got dandelions? Come here, baby. I do want to see. Aw, bye, Casey. Say bye to all my students, baby.
Do you want to see the dandelions?
You're welcome, Sophia. Bye, Katie.
Look.
Say bye to everybody. Bye.
You want to say bye first, bud?
Bye. You want to blow a kiss?
You like that?
Absolutely, Riley.
You like that?
Tickle,
There you go.
All right, I'll save it, guys. I adore all of you.
Look.
Bye.
Look at it. Smell one.
Smells so
Look at
good.
them in my hand.
Look, do you see your name? Willow? Willow? A little bit, Andrew. Bye, pumpkins.
There.